Hey, this is Lon with Single Track Skills. Are you impressed with my outfit? Before you judge, I just got finished blowing off all of Storyteller and 90% of Boulder Ridge. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk backwards and point out the lines. This is about the only time of the year that you can see the real authentic lines on especially Boulder Ridge, because so many people go around the real lines, and then you get all of the easy lines that are readily available and people just go on those. But my idea is, hey, let's keep double black and not pretend like it's less than double black. So I'm going to walk backwards on this. Let's get it done. We're going to start with the very first major feature going backwards. All right, first major feature on Boulder Ridge going backwards is the one we affectionately call Squamish-ish. There's a story on that for another time. But basically, this is looking down at it. It looks flat, I know, but it's definitely not flat. This is the entryway right here. It is kind of tricky to make this corner right here and then get right into it, because sometimes when I've made this corner, here, I'll show it to you. That's the corner you got to make right there. And if you biff that up, then it starts to make you question your ability to do the hard section, and it's blind. So anyway, yeah, blew off the entrance here, trying to stay off the white trail over there, which is the hiking trail, so that we're not getting in trouble with the hikers. And yeah, so this is the entry right here. Now I'm going to get down to the bottom of it and let you see it from the bottom and walk backwards on boulders and point out a lot of the lines that maybe people don't know. This is it from the bottom. I shut the blower off a little too soon. I was standing right up there at the top. Here's the line through here. I should have blown the rest of these leaves off coming down through here, but I didn't get to it. But I wrote it yesterday. It was no problem with the leaves on it. I will say that there are a whole bunch of lines right off of this rock face, but just to keep it a little less confusing, I just blew in one entryway, because if we have people coming from out of town and you see all these different entryways, it gets a bit confusing. But I tried to keep most of the lines up here simple, and in my opinion, which is just an opinion, the ones that are the most fun. Here's another one I blew off. I take that back. I blew off more than one exit, but I should have blown that exit off and not blown this one, because I didn't blow the entrance to that. Anyway, that's what you get with free labor. All right, so we're heading backwards on Boulder Ridge, and while we're walking, just want to mention one of the reasons, again, in my opinion, why it's important to blow this particular trail, Boulder Ridge, off once a year, is the leaves are so bad up here that when you come onto one of these rock faces, if your front wheel shifts because of the leaves, it can send you offline, and it gets really dangerous. So I know there's a big debate in the mountain bike trail building community and maintenance community as to whether or not you should blow leaves off the trail. And I think for most trails out there, pretty much all trails that are not double black, yeah, just leave the leaves on there. It helps with erosion. But on something like Storyteller and Boulder Ridge, by the way, let's just turn around for just a second. This rock looks pretty darn cool coming this direction and looking up at it. Looks kind of ominous over there. Really cool. Yeah, I love it. I love that angle. That would be a good shot for a photo op right there. All right, back on target. Yeah, so Boulder Ridge, I would say, needs the leaves blown off at least once a year, just because it is so sketchy. Once you're on those big rocks, you're fine, but it's getting on them and exiting them. If there's a leaf pile at the beginning of it, or the ending of it, you know, the entry or the exit, and it can get really treacherous. So that's my 2 cents on that. And the reason why I think it's important to blow Storyteller off is there's no way you can even find Storyteller if you're not a local who doesn't ride that trail a lot. So any of our out-of-town guests, they're not going to be even know, they won't even know where Storyteller is. And to be honest with you, sometimes when I've blown these trails off in the past, I've gotten lost on Storyteller, and I've ridden it a bunch of times. All right, so, and the leaves get up to be about to my knee on there, so it's not really any fun if you don't blow it off. Hey, but easy trails, leave them alone. Yeah, just those leaves act like shingles, I guess. There are a whole bunch of lines right in here off to the left. I didn't clean them all up just because I, am not able to put in the volunteer time I need to keep all of these lines open. Here's one right here, which is a neat beginner line. Well, beginner for very difficult, a double black. And then here's another one right here. It's very difficult, very, very sketchy. I didn't blow those off just because, yeah, I'm tired, man. I hiked all the way up here. There's more work to be done up here than we have time for, but at least we got a little bit of it done today. Yeah, so leaf blowing, that's my opinion on that. We'll get to the next feature. We're walking backwards on Boulder Ridge, and this is another line right here that we used to ride all the time when Jay and Chuck and I, Mike, Interval, and others, when we first built this trail, but it has just been abandoned. Not many people are interested in it. I think it's a lot of fun, but I just don't think it's a lot of people. Most people aren't into little rock rolls like that. But if anybody ever wants to bring it back, they certainly can, but it's kind of a shame for it to be gone. But it's just like anything, it takes time. It wouldn't take much to open it back up. Just trim off those little bitty branches of that little sapling there. The entrance to it is right over here, and it doesn't look hard at all on video, and it's not really hard. But when we first did it on 26-inch bikes back in 2008, it was tricky. It was very tricky. The geometry was really steep. That's the entrance. You just go right up that, you make a left and come right back down. So it's a lot of fun, but like anything, requires maintenance and time. This one here, I blew it off in case anybody wants to trim it up and get it ready to go. I think Javier's the only one that keeps doing this one. I've retired from it. We call this one King's Chair. You enter down here, ride around, make the circle, and then pop down in there and roll right down it and stay on the trail, make a right, come right on out. It wouldn't take much to bring that back, but again, I think only one person still rides it anymore, and probably only about 4 people have ever ridden it. Our original line here for both directions actually was coming right through here, going up and down, forwards and backwards, but this tree fell right here, so somebody would need to deal with that. And again, most people aren't interested in that kind of tech, so it's just been kind of abandoned. This guy, I went ahead and blew it off. Pretty neat step down. You enter it wide, come right on here, just a natural rock step down. I didn't blow the bottom of it. I have to take away my birthday on that. But anyway, that of course you would hit that going the regular direction. We're walking backwards on this trail, and we get up here to the next section, and there are a couple lines that I think are kind of fun here. Going backwards, it's really easy just to miss this guy over here on the left, but I think it's a lot of fun. It's right, this little pocket right over here. It's a little pot, you just pocket right in it and ride right up that. And then coming the other direction, you can either, if you want an easier line, you can come down that, or if you want a harder line, you can stay on this little ridge and then pop down in through here. And that's opened up enough to where that's rideable. I think that I'll bring up a little saw and cut some weeds out of the way for that entrance, because you just go right up here, right up here to get to that, right up on that, right through there, around, and then down. All right, let's get to the next section. All right, we're at another beginner rock slab. Of course, there's nothing beginner about this. I just mean it's one of the easier ones on this double black trail, and I cleaned it up. It's got an entrance, comes up here, you turn at the top, come right down. This one's a lot more straightforward than the last two that I said have been abandoned, but it feels the most like the very first one that I said that we did on 26-inch wheeled bikes, not the second one that only a few have done, called King's Chair. But you can see where I've blown the entrance onto it, because most people, they'll just go right on by it. Hopefully this time of the year it'll show our guests where the entrance is. Just go straight up over there and then straight down. All right, we're still walking backwards on boulders. All right, we're at what I call Stoppy Rock. It's an awesome rock right over here. If you're wanting to learn how to do stoppies on steeps, it's very predictable, lots of traction. And we're walking backwards, and the line is actually up Stoppy Rock going backwards. You got to round this corner and hammer it and just punch right up that bad boy. The line, both directions, is on what I call Stoppy Rock. I'm not going to walk it because it's a little hard to walk. I'm going to walk on the go around line, which is before it. And by the spring, most everyone who rides up there will be bypassing the real line and be down here where I'm walking, where I didn't blow off the leaves. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But you can see up here, I blew off the original line, goes around and Stoppy Rock. Right here. I need to clean off that little weed right there. All right, so I'm turning around, walking the other direction now, backwards. And this is tricky both ways. I'm far from being 100% on this, and I hardly ever clean it, but it's really rewarding when you do. So the real line is around this pine tree here on my right. You cut to the right of this leaning tree where I've blown off the leaves, and this is going backwards. Very hard going backwards. I'm going to swivel around, and this is the way it looks going forwards or clockwise direction. Now we're going backwards on boulders, or what we would have called years and years ago when there was only one loop out here, counterclockwise. You just stay right up here on this rock and follow where I blew off the leaves. Let's get to the next section. So going backwards, we ran into this section of trail right here. And actually the line, in my opinion, that's the most challenging and most rewarding when you get it, both directions, is this high line over here. Most people always fade down away from this, and they stay away from this challenging off-camber rocks, and then they end up getting way off the trail. And we've closed it down there because it's not the trail, but people just keep opening it back up, so I've kind of given up. But in case you ever are wondering what the original hard line is, it's right up here. You got to carry a lot of speed through here, and you got to definitely have heavy feet, light hands. That's that ground control 1 speak. And when you get it, it's super, super rewarding. It will send you onto this, you can see where everyone's coming down here and just bypassing all the hard stuff. But if you send it on the original hard line, you'll end up on this rock spine. And the key on the spine, both directions, is stay on the spine. Don't get down here in the gully. If you get down here in the gully, chances of you riding it clean are very, very slim. Yeah, so I'm not going to turn around because I'll shoot the sun right into your eyes. So yeah, you'll recognize it if you ride this trail. I used to ride this trail over and over and over for years, and this was our mainstay before we started getting all these other awesome trails built. Now I don't get to ride it as much as I should, but now that it's blown off, I'll be back on it. And you can see right down here, people are they just go off the trail and stay off the trail. They try to stay away from these rocks, but the real line is right over these rocks. Basically, the real line on this trail is anything that looks the hardest. Right through here, and you can see I got it all blown off to where it's safe coming on and off of these rocks. If you have those basic ground control 1 skills, dialed at a double black level. And this line splits. You can go to the right down here, or if you want a little bit more challenge, go up here on this ledge up here is where I'm gonna walk. And this one's tough because you got your handlebar could get hit right there. It's a little off camber coming on. You roll up here, I blew it off for you. Go down through there, get on the gas, up over those two rocks, and then you're making to make a left turn and head over that way. Both ways. We're still walking backwards. We just ran into the second huge rock roll in the park. And you got two lines. You got this one over here that you saw that I blew off. And then you have this one right down the middle right there. And that's the exit for that. I blew out the exit for that line right over here. We'll wander a little closer to it. And I think this line that I'm facing right now, walking towards, with that mandatory baby drop in the middle, that's the most fun line. And this one over here is the one in the middle. I'll walk down close to it so you can see it. I think it's a little bit more intimidating because things can go wrong because there are holes on the gaps in the rock, and if you get your braking wrong and your front wheel hangs on it, you can fall all the way down it. So as you can see, you gotta have that selective braking dialed, and you just run right down through there, around the corner. As you can see, I have the leaves blown out, so you can go right back up and enter the trail and ride it either direction. I'll show you the entrance that I have blown out for it to make it less confusing in just a second. Let's get up there and get it done. Right here is the entrance to get up to the very top of it. The entrance used to be here until we got permission to build a higher entrance. It's still a long ways away from the hiking trail, so we're not getting anywhere near it. But yeah, that's blown off. It's ready to go. Let's get it done. Walking backwards again, you can see everyone is going to bypass these rocks here on my left. They're going to bypass these and they're just going to go over here. That's fine, but the real line is over those rocks, both directions. And what makes it challenging is there's a little gap right in here going from that big rock to that one, both directions. Makes it way more challenging. All right, let's keep going. Walking backwards, that's the exit of the line I'm going to show from the top. You'll be riding down those rocks and make that corner and then back up the hill. Let's go check it out from the top. So this is midway. You go over this rock here, get on that, make a left turn, go down, then make a right. We're looking at it regular direction or clockwise right now. And then you will have just come down right in between that knuckle of that tree and that rock groove there. So it makes for a pretty dicey descent where you have to have all your GC1 skills in order. And yeah, and actually that one can be ridden up too. Not all that bottom part, but coming in this way, you can ride up that. But it's really hard to do. Not very high success rate at all. Here's the entrance to it from the top. You come up this rock here, go in here where I've blown off, and you're going to recognize it in just a second. See how I blew the entrance, and it goes right in where all those pedal marks are, in between the nub and the rock there. Most people skip this part right here because they don't realize it's the original trail, and they go around the whole thing. They go way over here. But this is the original trail right down here over this route, off this little peak, both directions. And that's why I blew it, so that if you're interested in riding the actual double black, you at least know where it is, as opposed to bypassing it and not even knowing that there's a line there. See, that's the beat-in line that everyone takes. And I think a lot of people don't even realize it's so beat in, and nobody ever has shown them that's the original line there. So yeah, no big deal. All right, we're gonna get to the next section. What a good time to head backwards. And look what has happened. A massive tree has fallen across the original line up here. This line down here has always been the go around line. The original line is this roller coaster over here. It's like a camel's back. And to be honest, I mean, if it were up to me, I'd say leave that tree, because that makes it even more challenging. It's a double black trail. People are going to go around this side anyway. That thing's a handful to get over both directions and stay on the line, but whatever. It's just my opinion on that. It'd be pretty rewarding to go hit it both ways. That's the line right there. As you can see, I blew off, and yeah, we keep going. All right, we're at the first cascading rock roll that I think any of us ever rode when we started riding this trail and it was first built. You enter at the top over here. You stay over to my left or the rider's right coming down it, and you try to hit this this root right here. If you get too far over to this other side, it's easy to go over the bars unless you hit it as a drop. But that root's nice because you can spot it. It's way safer now. I almost crashed on it a week or so ago because there was so much leaves on it. Now it's way safer. You just keep going straight. And I think it was, I forget who put that kicker in there, but a few years ago, I think maybe Spencer and Will, I don't know, but they put that little kicker there to where you can jump over all of that stuff. And then you can hit that rock over there as a wall ride. And then you get on that roller coaster that I mentioned that has the down tree at the end. So it's a pretty cool line going all the way through. It has a little bit of everything. All right, let's move to the next. All right, I hope that helps. Come up here and get you some Boulder Ridge and Storyteller before Old Man Winter blows the leaves back on it. They're running great. And by the way, Storyteller, it runs really well in the wet because it gets so dry, especially since the leaves have been covering the soil so deeply. The water hasn't really gotten down to the dirt, so it should be running really well even when it's very moist. But I would stay off of Boulder Ridge in the wet because those rocks are very, very slick, and it's not worth the risk. But that's just my opinion. Come get you some.